You keep asking for proof that you are changing. But the proof is already in the work you keep returning to. Not the applause. Not the money yet. Not the comments, the metrics, the clean public result. The work. The hour you kept when nobody knew you were tired. The draft you reopened after it made you feel small. The skill you practiced before it had a name in your life. The private standard you returned to after you slipped. That is evidence. And if you keep disrespecting that evidence, you will keep living like the new version of you has not arrived. The forge does not wait for a crowd before it marks the steel. Every strike counts. Even the hidden ones. Especially the hidden ones. There is a quiet kind of pain that belongs to private builders. You can be working harder than you ever have and still look unchanged from the outside. Same room. Same desk. Same phone. Same bank app. Same people asking what you are doing. Same silence when you finish another rep and nothing dramatic happens. That silence can make you question yourself. It can make you wonder if the work is real. It can make you look at your life and say, if I am changing, why does everything still look familiar? So you start searching for proof in the wrong places. You check numbers too early. You refresh the result before the system has had time to breathe. You compare your hidden practice to someone else's public harvest. You ask the world to confirm a version of you that you have barely learned how to protect. And when the world stays quiet, you call that absence a verdict. But is not a verdict. It is just silence. Silence is not proof that nothing is happening. Silence is often where the real proof begins. Because the old version of you did not keep showing up in silence. The old version needed pressure from outside. The old version needed a mood. The old version needed a deadline, a watcher, a reward, a panic. The old version abandoned the work when it stopped feeling impressive. But you are still here. You came back to the page. You came back to the gym. You came back to the offer. You came back to the edit. You came back to the awkward early rep. You came back to the thing that keeps exposing the gap between who you are and who you say you are becoming. That return is not small. That return is proof. The few learn to read evidence before the world can see it. They stop treating quiet work like it is invisible. They understand that invisible does not mean imaginary. In the forge, the steel does not become a blade when someone admires it. It becomes a blade through contact. Heat. Pressure. Strike after strike. The first mark may look ugly. The second mark may barely show. The 10th mark may still not look like the finished weapon. But the steel is keeping record. Every hit changes the shape. Every return to the fire changes the structure. Every cooling period matters, even when it looks like nothing is moving. The market has not seen the blade yet. The room has not clapped yet. No one has named it valuable yet. But the steel knows. The anvil knows. The hands know. This is how private work works. Your identity keeps a ledger. Not a public one. 1. Every kept promise writes a line. Every completed rep leaves a mark. Every honest hour becomes a receipt. Every return after failure becomes proof that the old pattern is losing authority. You may not feel different yet, because the change is not always emotional at first. Sometimes the first evidence is behavioral. You do the task without negotiating as long. You recover faster after a bad day. You tell fewer people and build more quietly. You stop needing the work to feel romantic. You start respecting boring consistency, because you have finally seen what dramatic moods cost you. That is proof. But most people throw their proof away. They finish a hard day and say it was only one day. They complete one clean block and say it was not enough. They show up for 2 weeks and say nothing has changed. They compare early hammer marks to finished blades and decide their steel is broken. That is how people betray the build. They demand harvest evidence from seed season effort. They demand public proof from private reps. They demand visible transformation while still training the invisible identity. The Forge does not respect that impatience. The Forge respects contact. The Forge respects return. The Forge respects the person who can look at an unfinished blade and say, the marks are real. You have to become that person. You have to stop needing every rep to announce itself. You have to stop treating quiet work like a placeholder until real proof arrives. Quiet work is the proof, not the whole proof, not the final proof, but enough proof to keep going. Enough proof to stop calling yourself the old name. Enough proof to raise the standard for how you speak to yourself after the work is done. When you keep a private promise, do not rush past it. Record it. Respect it. Let it build authority. Because the next time the old version says, nothing is changing, you need evidence ready. Not hype. Evidence. You need to be able to say that is not true. I have receipts. I kept the hour. I returned to the skill. I finished the ugly draft. I protected the morning. I said no to the distraction. I came back after the miss. This is not fantasy. This is a record. That record is how the new identity earns weight. So make this practical today. Do not wait for the world to hand you proof. Build a receipt ledger. Open a notebook, a note app, or a plain text file. Title it Proof of Work. Then write 3 quiet receipts. Receipt 1. 1 rep you kept when no one was watching. Do not exaggerate it. Do not make it impressive. Just tell the truth. I wrote for 40 minutes before checking my phone. I trained when I wanted to disappear. I edited the video instead of talking about the channel. I worked on the offer after the doubt showed up. Receipt 2. 1 standard you return to after slipping. This matters because identity is not proven by never falling. It is proven by how fast you stop handing the old pattern the whole week. Write the return. I missed the morning, but I kept the night block. I lost focus, then closed the loop and finished 1 task. I wasted an hour, then protected the next one. Receipt 3. 1 skill mark that proves you are no longer the same beginner. Maybe your first draft is cleaner. Maybe your setup is faster. Maybe your eye is sharper. Maybe your thinking has less noise. Maybe you can now name a mistake that used to control you silently. Write that down. The point is not to flatter yourself. The point is to stop lying about your evidence. After the 3 receipts, add 1 more today. 1. Not a perfect life. Not a full reinvention. 1 new receipt. 1 protected work block. 1 completed rep. 1 uncomfortable standard ket. 1 task finished before you ask for reassurance. And when you finish it, do not throw it into the void. Record it. The private builder needs a private record. Because there will be days when the room is silent, the metrics are flat, the money is delayed, and the old voice starts acting like a judge. On those days, you do not need a motivational quote. You need receipts. You need proof that you are no longer the person who only moves when life scares you. You need proof that you are becoming someone who can work without applause. Someone who can keep standards without witnesses. Someone who can trust the mark before the blade is finished. The work is the proof. Say it until your behavior believes it. The work is the proof when nobody claps. The work is the proof when the numbers lag. The work is the proof when the old version tries to call the silence a failure. The work is the proof when your hands are tired and the blade still looks unfinished. Do not disrespect the marks. Do not erase the receipts. Do not ask the crowd to validate evidence you have refused to honor in private. You are not waiting for proof. You are standing inside it. Today, list 3 receipts. Then add 1 more. Keep the hour. Strike the steel. Record the mark. And when doubt asks what has changed, do not argue. Show the ledger.